Hello, and welcome to Getting Vulnerable and Going Strong. I'm Leslie Hill, the Women's Entrepreneurial Opportunity Center Program Director, and today I am here with a very special guest, Sandi Deardorf of Sandi's Office Solutions. I can see the S.O.S in the circle. And that is the best part about branding. So Sandi, how did you decide to do a business? And most of what you've been doing is virtual. Mm-hmm. So how did this happen?
Well, I was a court reporter for 24 years, and I just needed a little more flexibility with my schedule. My parents were getting elderly, and we started having grandchildren, and just wanted to have a little more time to do the things I really wanted to do. And I knew there was a need for people that didn't want to hire a full-time secretary or whatever.
Yes.
And some of my work is through attorneys, and that's how I started thinking about this, was doing some legal work for them and things like that. So I just knew there was a need out there, and not to, just to have somebody on call if they needed that help.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. So how long have you been in business?
About 3.5 years.
Okay, yes. So just enough to kind of get over the hump of that first year. You kind of got your feet wet, and now you feel good about what you like best, what you don't like, kind of what business you want to go after, what clients you want to have. Who is your ideal client?
Anybody that has a need for just a part-time person that they're finding the stress of trying to do it all on their own. Most of them are just like a 1 or 2 business person operation where they just can't do it all on their own. And so they'll, want like a contact list made or Christmas cards sent, just things like that they don't have the time to do themselves. So basically anybody that has a need for any of those extra projects and take it off their plate, give them more time to do the things that are important, whether it's calling on clients or that type of thing.
Yeah, money generators.
Right.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Great. So they can actually hire you for projects or maybe a month at a time, or have you had many clients who want to hire you for like the full year?
Somewhat, so many hours per week. Some have projects. I had a Pamper Chef lady that had probably 900 recipes, and so I turned those into a cookbook, cut them up and categorized. So, it's just a wide variety. So some of them are a one-time thing. Some are on a weekly basis. It's just depending on their need.
And what is your favorite task?
My favorite task? Probably just meeting with the clients, and I love being out and learning about their businesses and watching their small businesses grow and helping them however I can, just doing the marketing and that type of thing for them that maybe they've never done it and they don't know how. Mm-hmm. And so I, may do Facebook posts or flyers or business cards. I've designed a few business cards just to get them from the ground up,
Right.
So just a wide variety.
Mm-hmm. And do you do bookkeeping too?
I am teaching myself QuickBooks because I've had several clients want that, and I've never done that type of thing, but people are asking, so I bought the software and I'm teaching myself to do it. So hopefully soon I'll have that as another service.
I think that's a brilliant idea. I think especially when you are a solopreneur, there are just 1 or 2 of you, that it's one of those things where you just cannot find the time to master QuickBooks. So if you could come in and just enter information, make sure that everything adds up, then that's a great idea.
Well, that's my plan. I've never been a numbers person, but this, it's pretty much does it for you. So it's, I think I'll be able to do it. I'm not too old to learn anything new yet. I don't think so.
So with the virtual concept, is it more virtual as in you don't have to be on location, or is it over the internet? Which one would you hope to continue down that path?
Not have to be in their location. Now, the one of the downsides of my business is I'm on the road so much, gathering their files or whatever they need. If they have 100 business cards and they want to turn it into a contact list, I have to physically go to those places. And sometimes, I'm in Allen, Steuben, Noble, Whitley. I'm just kind of on the road a lot, which then takes away from my productive time to do those projects. So the more virtual I could do, without having to, be on the road so much would be the best, But it's part of the job, So,
True. Mm-hmm. And they get you out.
It gets me out.
At least that way you don't get stuck in your basement.
Yeah.
Or
that's
what happens.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What duties do you not like?
Probably just the traveling and trying to squeeze it all in. Here comes Friday, and I didn't get as much done as I hoped to. But I do work nights. I mean, I can work till 2:00 in the morning. That's the luxury of having my own business. I can make my own hours, and so just trying to sometimes try to squeeze it all in and try to keep everybody happy and get their projects to them as soon as they want. Sometimes people can be a little impatient, but I do try to give them an estimate of time when I take the project, how long I think it'll take.
Which I think that goes back to, not only is it better as a revenue generation for you when you're not on the road, but it's also gives you that feeling of that you're actually helping. So I can completely see what you're saying there. And I know when I owned my business, it was a lot about that too. Okay, I've now been in the car for 4 hours. I still have to pick up my daughter from school and my son from wherever. And you're like, well, now I got one thing done today. I could really be helping you more.
Right. Well, maybe you need my help.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
But it's been. I mean, that's just part of it. You just you need to find a routine, a schedule. So the calendaring thing really makes a big. You just know that you have to from 2 to 6 work on this project. So you have to be very disciplined to make sure you get it all done. And when the weather's nice, it's not always quite as easy because you want to go outside, but it's okay. So.
But at least you could sit outside and work.
That's right.
Whereas someone else for a company can't go outside to do
that.
That's right. So how do you keep yourself straight? If there are one-off projects all the time, what does your calendar look like?
Well, I have piles.
Yes, we were just talking about that. Yes.
I have piles, and part of what I do is organization, trying to organize their offices. But I do try to, keep them in piles by what needs to come out first. What is, whenever you have the time, please do this. So I just, on Friday nights or Saturday mornings, I'll make my schedule for the next week. And whether it's traveling or making a phone call to schedule an appointment or whatever, I just set that out and know that this is when I do it. If I need to watch my grandkids, I know that, okay, I can do it this in the evening, but I can't, I just try to stick to my schedule. And it's not always easy, but, it does work.
Yeah.
So
and again, like
you just have to learn.
Yes, and that luxury with being able to master your own destiny, kind of being that business owner, because otherwise, don't you hate when there are... you're sitting in the office and you think, oh, I have to go to the dentist's office. Or maybe this is just me. I don't know. But I feel so bad when I got to go to the chiropractor. I got to go. And then you think, but this is life. This is my health. I only go to the dentist 2 times a year. Why do I sit here and feel bad? Whereas when you're the business owner, you know exactly, you don't mind working. So you know exactly where you go to get it done within your day.
Right. Sometimes you just need to learn to say no. Too, I've through my business, I've become involved with a lot of nonprofits. Ended up getting on 3 different boards because I did their work, and but it's all things I really want to do, But sometimes it's just one more thing to add to the schedule. But,
yes.
But it makes you feel good when you can give back like that, So.
And again, that you have that flexibility, you can go do these things,
right?
And then you can say, okay, a little overloaded now.
Yeah. But it's I'm in good health, and there's no reason I can't do it. So
yeah,
I get bored easy. So
good for you. So, what does success look like for you over the next maybe 5 years? What do you want your life to look like?
Being able to spend time with my family. My parents are elderly. My dad and I take Fridays off so I can go fishing with my dad. I try to do that when the weather's good. So just still having that flexibility to spend with my family, but also knowing I need to make an income. My husband and I are both, we want to, down the road be able to take maybe a couple more vacations and things like that we are saving for and that type of thing. So just, having that flexibility, but also generating an income and doing something I really enjoy,
Yes.
So.
Which is helping people.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yes. When talking about success, a lot of my clients will come in and will say, I'll ask them, before you start the business, let's look at that end goal. So where do you want to be in 10 years or 30 years after you've been working in this business for quite a while? Do you want to sell it? Do you want to grow it and scale it into multiple states? Because starting knowing that at the start really helps to lay out the whole strategic plan. So knowing for your future success, you're thinking, I want to be comfortable. I want to travel. I want to be able to do what I need to do for my family. And I think letting that be a little bit of that ambiguity is good too. That means that you'll be able to pivot your business in ways that maybe someone who is so structured will get caught up in, and they won't be able to celebrate these small successes along the way. So I like that you are leaving it open and saying, here I am. I was put on this earth to help, and this is how I'm doing it right now. And in 5-10 years, if I can take maybe a couple more trips, then I'll feel really good about where I am. That makes me happy for you.
Thank you. No, it's family's a priority, and I just wanted to make sure I had time to do the things that I needed to do too. And like I said, my parents are elderly, and I just knew that spending time with them, I wouldn't always have that opportunity. So
right,
that's why we go fishing on Fridays.
Yes,
we get the chance.
Love that.
So,
how do you feel about how many hours you want to work over the next 5 years? Do you want to work more now? Do you want to work less now because your parents are here? If you were to put a little bit more strategy behind there, and I ask just because I know as I own my own business, I had a part-time job throughout, and it was multiples just depending on what happened. Do you see yourself doing this and another position? Do you see yourself only doing this? How does that look?
I'm probably, working for a nonprofit right now along the side. It comes in handy as long as I can have the flexibility, because I can work during the day and then do my projects in the evening then. And then still, if I want to go, have the kids for a couple hours at the park or whatever, so I have that flexibility to do it. I probably won't always want to work a part-time job and just, as I get older, probably just do my projects and everything. But for now, it's fun. Winter coming, things kind of slow down, so I have a little more free time. But yeah, probably for now. I mean, when I started out the first year, I didn't work a part-time job, but then I have been offered a couple through different nonprofits. And so it just, I figure if it was meant to be, it would work out. And it did, and it has, so.
And very similar experience. I went in to get mentoring from a local boutique owner, and after the mentoring, she said, "Would you like to work here part-time?" I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. And then it was like, oh, well, duh. Why would I not do that? And I really feel like you operate your business you operate differently, because it's not so... you're not so scared, or you're not operating out of this area of lack. You're coming at it from, I feel comfortable about my business. I know that I have, even if it's a $10 an hour job, I have that to secure me. So I'm going to be a little bit more confident to go out and ask for this sale. I've met this person, and I'm going to say, hey, I heard you say that you need some organizing. I'm your girl. It really makes you operate differently. Whereas when you don't have that security, you can feel so much more pressure, and you just kind of drowned in pressure, really. So I suggest, not to everyone, but to a good portion of my clients, don't leave your job yet. Let's get through these hurdles, or let's take on this 10-hour-a-week position so that you can do everything else without worrying all the time.
Yep. It makes it nice to have that, flexibility. And if it doesn't work, the part-time job, you can always say, well, it just didn't work out.
Right.
So.
Or if you think, okay, well, I learned a lot. You may take a position specifically to learn more about what you're doing in your business. That could be the ideal way for you to gain customer knowledge, to understand certain processes. There are several companies, several clients who may have a business that's similar to one that's already here in Fort Wayne. Well, if they're hiring, go get a part-time job there. Try it. Go get a full-time job there. Understand how things are working, understand your competition, your customers, and then figure out how you want to make yours different.
And I, try to watch webinars and learn new skills and things like that, just because, social media is changing. I mean, there's just so much different than there was even 3 years ago.
Yes.
So you kind of have to keep up with that, because that's what your clients want is, these new things that are going on, and they don't know how to do it themselves maybe. So.
And when you're posting for them, what does that typically look like? Is it once a week, or is it just...
It just depends on the situation. Some of my clients are looking for help on it, so I'll design like a, we're hiring type of thing. My nonprofits, I do their events, and then so post that all over, so there's they're aware of the fundraisers or whatever's coming up. But some of them just want to have their business out there just once a week, just say, hey, I'm here, if they don't know, because that's what social media is the thing right now, more so than print or other avenues, so and they just don't know how or don't have the time to do it themselves. So
And it is prevalent across every age demographic. You might think that it would be the 30 and under definitely understand how to use it. They may feel comfortable going in there, but they may not know how to utilize it for business. So I look at LinkedIn and I see very revealing shots of people on their profile pictures. And, they're writing as if they're writing in a text message to someone. So I think that these skills are transferable to everyone at every age, every sex, every ethnicity, just because it changes all the time, and communication is so different between the generations.
I agree.
That's great that you offer that, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Because now I know who to send my clients to.
Yeah, well, thank you. S.O.S. Yeah.
Yes. Did you get that? The S.O.S. Because it's Sandi's Office Solutions. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Well, thank you for having me.
I love that everyone gets to really have a chance to be mentored on their own time. So because this is virtual, they can watch it as they're laying in bed or brushing their teeth and still get that same interaction, rather than having to figure out throughout the day, how am I going to go in and see a coach, or try to connect with someone at a networking event, and it's intimidating, and so this really, really helps. Thank you.
It was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everyone how to contact you?
Sandi's Office Solutions. My website is S.O.S. Virtual Assistant, and it's 260-927-4567 is my cell.
And thank you all so much for watching.